here we are at Dream Guitars in Weaverville in North Carolina, looking at these absolutely superb instruments. This is the classical room, I suppose the best way to put it. If we follow through here, we see many of the finest guitars in the world represented on racks. Shall we capture you as well? Dipping through.
Don't capture me.
No, don't do that.
Sorry.
Okay. And here we have. So what's this here, Stu?
This is a beautiful Keras acoustic guitar, the Florentine Cutaway. Keras makes wonderful instruments. This is great wood, only the best wood. It's one of the top luthiers. Definitely one of the best builders around. And
there's a Blanchard next to it.
Yeah, Blanchard is also, I could say, the exact same description for him. He's a superb builder. Every instrument we get from him is better than the previous one. He just seems to continue to innovate and build at a very high level.
So how long has Dream Guitars been here?
Originally, Paul started the store 15 years ago. He had a brick and mortar in New Jersey and 6 years in North Carolina.
It's a superb place, isn't it?
Thank you. Thank you.
So at the weekend we were talking about a thing I'd never heard of, which was an Henderson.
Yes. Henderson is a very, at the moment, very, very popular builder. He's been building forever, since the 70s, I think. A couple of years ago they did a book about building Eric Clapton's guitar, Eric Clapton's Henderson. Since then, sales have been off the charts for his guitars. They've gone from being, I think, around $5,000 to going upwards of $35,000 for certain models. And right now we happen to have the third handmade Henderson that was ever built, which
Can we look at that?
Sure, sure.
I know we talked about it on Saturday.
Here's a Henderson that was made in the 80s. This is Indian rosewood. It's a nice flat picking guitar, great bluegrass guitar, and
very nice.
And oh, here we go.
Looks like it's been around a while, that one.
There we go. This is the third Wayne Henderson guitar built. I think he's out of Virginia. And you can see this is the original headstock. He's changed that over the years. Has some huge, huge inlays. And as you can see, it's been lovingly played.
It's a beautiful looking thing, isn't it?
And it's got, yeah, some
wear
in it, but it's a great sounding guitar, and it's also, just a great piece of history too.
And that's number 3.
This is number 3. My understanding is that he still owns number 1. Number 2 has been destroyed, and number 3 is pretty much as early as you can get.
Wow.
So
and that would be valued at what these days?
This one is $35,000.
Wow. So there you go. You said that without really a look of surprise on your face.
Well.
I know there are some very valuable machines in here. We were talking about Kevin Ryan earlier on, and you had a guitar that Al Petaway was using.
Yes, that one is right here. When it came back in used recently, the first thing Al said was, "Why did I sell this guitar?" It's an outstanding example, and you can see if you compare it to I guess I have the other Ryan in the other room. It's this one I think is from 1997. It's a huge sounding guitar and has some special inlays here on the 12th fret. His guitars have changed a little bit over the years, but this is a great example of late 90s.
Is there anything particular about Ryan's that would interest?
He builds in my opinion, he builds very elegant guitars that are very flexible. They're, they can be extremely ornate, as you saw in your own personal guitar, which is very beautiful. Or they can be as simple as you want, but they have they cover a lot of ground musically. They're great flat picking guitars, but they're also great fingerstyle guitars as well. And this one in particular is a great guitar.
I think the thing that I learnt when I came here at the weekend for the first time is that when you spend your time in some of the other stores that we won't talk about in the high streets around the world, you get the impression that that's really the most that can be achieved with wood until you come into a place like this.
Well, and that's what's special about Dream Guitars. Paul had this vision to take the not just sell another product, but instead to sell instruments that really inspired people, that really provided passion, and that were at the very highest level. And he's definitely done a good job amassing a collective of luthiers who are, frankly, the best in the world at what they do. And if we don't have it, we can have it built for you.
Well, yeah. I think the thing that hits you straight away is that when you walk in the room and you just start making sort of singing noises, the whole room full of instruments begins to resonate.
Yeah, it's like
with
a
your voice.
giant drone.
It's like a choir, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's beautiful.
And when you pick them up, instruments of this quality, as soon as you touch them, they start to sing. They're alive.
Well, that's one of the things that particular builders like Bruce Petros and the Ryans, is that there's a tremendous amount of sound energy coming off the soundboard, and you don't get that in other production guitars, at least that I've played.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It really kind of drives your playing forward.
They don't seem anything like as alive.
Well, and that's one of my personal favorites we have is this guitar by Dake Traphagen, who's a classical builder who's now making steel string guitars.
Yeah.
And he's just a master at what he builds. And even though it looks like a typical dreadnought, it's built lighter inside, and he has his own unique hybrid bracing. The guitar is just huge volume-wise and very, very toneful. And
I remember when I picked it up on Saturday and I played just a couple of sort of jazzy chords, you came back into the room and said, "That is a wonderful guitar."
Yeah, that is.
So you could hear it from outside.
It is, and it's a shop favorite for sure.
Yeah.
That's one of the guitars that we want to sell guitars, but we don't mind if it hangs around for a while.
It's nice just to play it.
Yeah, and
right
he also
here.
built us.
It does look very plain, but it really is a superb instrument.
Oh, but
to
it's
play.
just his choice of wood is fantastic, and I've had the pleasure of talking to him a couple times. He's a very, very well informed, very smart man. Very cool. I have to get the telephone.
Thanks, Steve.